our chiropractor, Dr. Monty. He dropped off a bottle of 7-Day Challenge CBD oil and just basically said, Kim, I want you to get this in your body. I had really been struggling with back and hip pain for about 12 years, had many different procedures done, and just saw such a fast result with my pain level and with some sleep issues that we decided to start doing a little bit of investigation and learning more about Zilis, the product, why Zilis, why should we represent this brand, what makes it different, what sets it apart, what makes it be leading the nation in CBD, and also the opportunity that can go with that. So we're going to dive right in. Steve and Angie Thompson started Zilis in 2015. And actually, when the company started, Stephen's vision was to have multivitamin packs available to children all over the world that were malnutritioned. It was later in the fall of 2017 that they actually combined that science, water solubility with CBD, and got it on the market. And he's just an expert in the multi-level marketing, in natural healing and products that go with that. He's been an ambassador, so I consider him a mentor of mine. I feel like if I'm learning something that I've never done before, I definitely want to copy the best. And so I am a copycat of Stevens because I think he's definitely the best cat. And this is a exploding industry right now with hemp. And if you are newer to this whole CBD explosion, you may be where we were 10 months ago and really didn't even understand the difference between CBD and marijuana, or hemp and a marijuana plant. So hopefully today, when we get finished, you'll understand a little bit about that as well. You can't turn on the TV or turn on your computer to read the news and not see something about CBD, hemp, the industry. This week, it was interesting to me to see the different groups, particularly this week, sports groups that are jumping on and looking at making this available to professional players. Golfers already use it. And this week, the big deal on the news was that the NFL is looking at making it legal for them to take CBD. So I'm excited to continue to watch the growth and how it's going to explode and affect us not only as a company, but with our health as well, and the opportunity. The science that is behind CBD is the thing that got our attention because it's so new. And when I decided to take this product and went to my pain management doctor and chatted with her about it, number one, she was already selling CBD. I thought that was interesting. Number two, she gave us a quick lesson in the endocannabinoid system and said that many doctors that went to, completed their schooling before 1993 had never even heard of the endocannabinoid system. But anything that has a spine has an endocannabinoid system. And the thing that I don't know how many of you are looking at the screen, but if you are, there's 10 different systems that go through our body within that endocannabinoid system. And when I see the different ones like muscular and respiratory and nervous and immune and digestive, it really makes me understand why one person that I share this product with may get one result and somebody else gets a completely different result. And I think if I'm understanding the way that our body is working is that we all have cannabinoids. And with life and aging and health and just natural aging too, we get low on cannabinoids. And when that happens, this endocannabinoid system gets out of balance. When that system gets out of balance, we start noticing it with different health issues. For me, pain was a huge trigger for me wanting to explore CBD and some natural healing because of all the different things that I had tried. For my husband, he sees great results with his allergies and with his headaches, things like that with CBD. So it just impacts the entire body. So people experience different effects when they try it. And so when those cannabinoids in our body become low or deficient, it has been found that CBD is the thing that can bring balance back to that system. And Zilis is the leading in the nation. We call our product Ultra Cell. And Ultra Cell comes in a sublingual and in a topical. And the sublingual comes in lemon, berry, and raw. And something, if you're again looking at your screen, you can see the U.S. Hemp Authority certification. That's pretty new. We are the only company that has it for our topical. And there are very few companies that have it for the sublingual. From reading, I like diving in. When somebody tells me something, I like trying to go kind of do my own research and discover exactly what they mean. I think that this certification is going to end up being something that hopefully determines what brands can be sold and what can't. Because there's going to be certain things that have to happen with the CBD oil to be able to get that certification. And hopefully they'll make it to where they can't be sold unless they have that certification. It'd be like, I wish they'd keep the dollar shampoos off the shelf because my clients' hair would all be in better shape. But, you know, the great thing about Zilis that I also have found to be different and to set us apart as a company is that it's such a superior formulation that it's good for our pets as well. You don't have to have a separate product that we sell to our pets. One quick story is I went and visited a local pharmacy to talk to him about Zilis and selling it. And he, on his shelf, right by the register, he had a brand of CBD for pets. And I was like, well, where's your CBD for humans? He said, I don't have one yet. And I said, well, that's what we're here for. So it's interesting to me that some brands create it differently when CBD has been found to be safe for our furry animals as well. One drop, and you definitely want to look, dig deeper. There's actually a resource in our back office that kind of gives the different dosage, but generally it's one drop for every 20 pounds for your pet. What you're looking at here is, to me, one of the first things that sets Zilis apart. And I feel like there are at least four. This one is called full spectrum CBD. Full spectrum CBD is the opposite of an isolate. An isolate means that all they've put in that bottle is CBD. But with a full spectrum oil, they've used 400 compounds that are in that hemp plant that include vitamins and minerals, omegas, proteins, cannabinoids, and terpenes. And even just taking one, terpenes, if you were to start studying that and looking into it, terpenes help move this product through the body, but terpenes are actually being found to have a bunch of health benefits as well. So you might want to look into that if you enjoy the science of things. CBD is only one of 100 cannabinoids found in the hemp plant. And I think as time goes on, we're going to discover more and more about what the other cannabinoids do. Right now, there's a marijuana plant that is very high in THC, low in CBD, and there's a hemp plant that's very high in CBD and has just a small trace of THC. The legal amount, for those of you who haven't heard, is 1.3 or 0.3 makes the trace of THC legal. Anything higher than that is illegal. And with Zilis, we have a really cool QR code on every single bottle where you can take an app on your phone and read over it, and it will tell you exactly not only what's in our product, but what's in that batch. And you'll see that every single bottle has less than 0.3 for your any trace of CBD. Another thing before I jump into the technology, because to me it's the most important thing that sets us apart, one thing that is really important when you're looking for CBD for yourself, for your family, for your pets, is where was it grown? Because hemp is an extremely porous plant. So if it was grown somewhere and the soil wasn't healthy, it can get into the plant, therefore get in the bottle and get in your body. So you want to, Zilis uses hemp grown in Kentucky and in Colorado. I think that's very important that it's grown in the United States. And then another thing that's super is important is how it's extracted from the hemp plant. So there are several inexpensive methods. They can burn it out of the plant. They can use butane to get it out of the plant. And those things, again, get into the plant. It can make it taste super nasty, like almost like an ashtray, but it also can get those chemicals into your body. Zilis uses a more expensive technology to do that. And they use a CO2 heavy press method. And so no chemicals are put into the product when you're extracting it from the plant. So those are full spectrum, how it's extracted, where it's grown. And then the one that's by far the most important and what's super duper sets Zilis apart with its ultracell is the technology behind it. So Zilis knows that CBD oil can be a problem in that an oil and water don't mix. Our bodies are made mostly of water. And so they have a science that they've done to make the CBD oil water soluble. And by doing that, it has a really super fast effect into the body. It jumps up in its absorption rate within an hour, and it stays there for a long period of time. And what I like is that they've done a study to back that up. I'm not just saying that. They're not just telling me that. They put their money where their mouth is, and they conducted a study in February of 2018 where they took 20 people, gave them a dose of CBD oil, and tested their blood every hour. And you can see that it jumps in that first hour up to 80, 90, and even 94%. And that most people hold that absorption rate over a 12-hour period. Those little areas where it dips down and then comes back up is where it goes into the liver, and someone has a little bit of a slower processing liver. And then you can see, though, it comes back up high in the absorption rate. So people will say to you, I've got CBD and I'm taking it and I'm getting a few results. Why should I switch to Zilis? And here, this is the reason, is because a lot of people that are using something that has the national absorption rate is like 3 to 7%. And if they're using that, they're either not getting the benefits that they would like to see, or they're having to take it really, really often. With Zilis, it's 1 milliliter per day for most people. You start off small and build up with it. With me, I take a half of a dose in the morning, and I take about a third of a dropper in the evening because it helps me to sleep. So you do play around with it, find what works for you. But with Zilis, this is the thing that sets it apart, is that it's going to work well, quick, and last for a really long time. You know, one of the things that we love about Stephen is that he didn't want to be just a CBD oil company. Another thing I like is that there's 6 products. I'm not trying to, sell you skincare, which is great. And, but I want to zone in on just this health of this CBD and of this science that's behind it for the endocannabinoid system. So he created 4 boosters, and they are Ice, Edge, Dream, and Burn. And the great thing about the boosters is if for some reason you can't or don't want to take CBD, these stand alone and give you great benefits with that same science that you find in the CBD. But if you want to have just a little extra boost to the results that you get from your CBD, you can add these to it. The first one is Ice. Ice for me has totally taken the place of taking any type of anti-inflammatory over the counter. I have lots of different things that have been prescribed to me over the years to help with pain, and Ultra Ice is definitely my friend. I take it 3 times a day, 1 full dropper. It's full of turmeric and other natural anti-inflammatories that really get into the body quick because of that science, and it lasts for hours for me. So I don't have to take ibuprofen all day long like I did before. Anything that hurts, my husband had some dental surgery, and he found out about Ice after he had gone through about 3 of the procedures. But on this last one, he used this immediately after surgery, would kind of swish it in his mouth instead of just putting it under his tongue. And we noticed that he healed a lot quicker. Definitely the swelling went down a lot faster. And he just handled everything about that surgery a whole lot better this last time. Edge, when Edge was originally introduced to me, I was told to take it for energy, and it's so much more than that. Edge is for cognitive thinking and focus, and I take Edge, a half of a dropper is all I need. I take it every morning. Sometimes if I feel like I need it in the afternoon, I can. It does have some B12 in it, so it can give you energy, but more than that, it just really helps me to focus and I feel a lot sharper. There's also some great ingredients in Edge that really help, I think, long-term with memory issues. So you may want to study those as well. Dream is the #1 selling booster at the salon, #1 selling product other than CBD, because so many people have trouble with sleep. And it's full of GABA and melatonin and chamomile. But remember, it's got that science behind it. And so it works super, super quick. For me, about 15 minutes. The other thing I'll tell you about Dream is start off super small. I take 4 drops. and 4 drops have me to sleep within about 15 minutes. It shuts up my head so I can quit, turn everything off. And I get a good 6 to 7 hours of sleep. And that wasn't happening for me because of the pain. So it had just become this vicious cycle of not being able to sleep and then hurting. Burn is the newest booster. It came out in March. It's for weight loss, it's for curbing your appetite, it's for reducing cravings. Another thing that I love about Burn, and several of my customers use Burn just for what we call happy. It's got some ingredients in it that really work on your mood. It's been shown, some of the ingredients in it have been shown to follow the same path as an antidepressant. And so if you're just having a blah day, I've found that you can take a dose of Burn and feel better. So these are our boosters. Important thing to remember is they don't contain CBD, and that they can stand alone or be taken with the Ultracell. And they have very specific health benefits like we went over. So when someone had Stephen call me because he heard that I was interested because I'd had such great results from the product and that I was going to start carrying it at the salon, but that I was hesitant about doing the business because I'd never done anything like this before. Still can't believe that we are, but we're having the time of our life. But one of the things that he talked with Christopher and I about the first time that he called us was what this company does to give back. And for those of you that know me, it's very important to me. I feel like if you are benefiting from a community, you need to be giving back. That's what makes our communities better. And Zilis does that in a very big way. They provide multivitamins just like they did when they first started for malnutrition children all over the world. And they do that through a pay it forward nutrition program. And the other thing is millions of prenatal vitamins are given every single day to expectant mothers through the Vitamin Angels nonprofit. But the thing that got Christopher and I's attention the most is the Patriot Program. When we first joined Zilis, the Patriot Program was something where we could go on as ambassadors. We could buy a bottle of CBD at the deepest wholesale amount and get it into the hands of a nonprofit so that our veterans who are suffering from PTSD and depression and addiction to opiates could start this product and get the results. But it's come so far from there now. They can actually join as a preferred customer for free, get their product at wholesale for their lifetime. And then more excitingly to me than that is they can become an ambassador and do this business and share their story about how CBD has changed share the benefits that CBD has given them from those things that we named that they're suffering from. So we're excited to see where the Patriot Program is going to go. And I think that Stephen's going to lock arms with several different nonprofits so that we can get this not only to our veterans, but their families as well. So I know I went through that pretty quickly on the product. So I just want to take just 1 second and kind of sum it up. Zilis is the leading CBD sales in the country. Zilis has grown, I think the first year, 500%. And Stephen corrected me last night. We were on a call together and I said, for 2 years in a row. And he said, no, actually we've grown 1,000%. So definitely want to give him kudos for that. As a business person, being a salon owner, I'm excited if I have about a 2% growth. So I cannot even imagine 1,000%. And I would want credit for every point of it, that's for sure. But the 4 things to remember about your CBD when you're shopping for it, and really, if you're doing this as a business, the 4 things, I saw a conversation on Facebook just a minute ago before I jumped on. They were talking about a person that came to them and they were on CBD and, why should I switch? And these are the 4 reasons. Zilis is full spectrum. Where Zilis gets our hemp, it's grown in Kentucky and Colorado. How Zilis extracts the CBD from the plant is so important. And we do that in a CO2 heavy press method so that there's no chemicals involved. And then finally, something that completely sets us apart from any other country is that we've got the science that makes this product water soluble. So the absorption rate is a huge part of what sets Zilis apart. And so when I have someone that has been using CBD and I'm giving them the opportunity to buy a 7-day challenge bottle, it 99% of the time, when I check back on them a few days later, they're seeing so many more results, maybe better sleep, relief from anxiety, better pain relief than they were from their other CBD. So let the product tell the story. If you've taken it, most likely you have your own story and you just need to share that story. And that's the great thing about this is I'm not selling CBD, I'm sharing CBD and sharing the benefits of it. And that's what keeps it flying off the shelves and out of my car or wherever I am. To tell you a quick story about that as I lead into the business, today when I finished cutting hair at the salon, I had been carrying this basket of clothes in my car for forever. I have never taken clothes to a resale shop, but I had some nicer things that I thought, I'm going to try this. I've never done it before. I'm going to see what it's like. So we have a local little resale shop down the street, and I drove up, and you go in the alley out the back door and knock on the door, and this adorable woman opened the door and told me that she had bought it a couple of years ago, and thank you for choosing her. And I had on my CBD shirt. And so we got my box out. We went through it. She told me that she would donate what she didn't keep, which I liked that. And she said, "So tell me about your shirt. Tell me about CBD." So we just had a quick conversation, and I told her I gave her a bottle. I said, "I don't normally give it to you, but I don't have time to make the switch. And from one business owner to another, I want you to get this product in your body. What would you like to see an improvement in? How is your sleep? How is your pain?" And she said, "Well, I'm a CPA by trade. This is my side business." And she said, "I sit a lot and I have a lot of neck pain from being on the computer and things." And so I tell you that story because I wasn't looking for another business opportunity. I stand behind the chair still, probably my husband, if he was sitting here, would say 60 hours, but probably about 50 hours a week. And I do Zilis in the nooks and crannies of my life. So just like that today, dropping off clothes and got to have a conversation with the girl, or while a color is processing, I'll follow up with somebody and check back with them. This can be done part-time. It can be done from your home. It can be done from your car, anywhere you have a telephone. I just feel like that going in 10 months from not knowing anything about multi-level marketing to understand that it really simply is being self-employed and bringing this opportunity to other people in your life so that they can experience the benefits as well. And, Stephen wanted Zilis's compensation plan to be very strong. And so he did that, and it pays in a bunch of different ways, but we're going to talk about a few. And the first one is retail profits. So I do have a storefront, I have a salon, but you do not have to have a storefront to retail this product. You do, I believe, need the little 7-day challenge bottles that you see there. They come in berry and lemon right now. I heard raw is right around the corner. Even the topical comes in a small little 7-day challenge size. If you've got someone that you come across that's in pain, which happens a lot, you can share that little 7-day challenge topical with them. And believe me, you will be selling Zilis. It works so quickly and brings relief so quick that I think that the sale of topical, we can't keep it on the shelf at the salon. But you may be thinking, well, Kim, I don't have a salon. I don't have a storefront. And I'm telling you that most likely either you know someone that does or they do. And now that Christopher and I have been in this for a while, we've watched this team organically grow. I think I haven't even looked in the last couple of days, but we're probably up to almost 900 people on our team. And we didn't sign up but about 42 of those. And on way down in our team, even this week, we're like at generation 9. We've got a doctor that is, offering this product to his patients because of the way it's helping with digestive issues. And so it's not necessarily who you know, and I would never want that to stop you. But when Stephen developed this retail program, he wanted it to have a unique tiered pricing so that if you buy one bottle, it costs you one particular amount, but you can buy in bulk and get it down to where you're making 200% profit. And from what I've been told with other MLMs, it's usually just $1 amount for every product that you sell, and you can't increase your profits in any way except by selling more of it. And so we do buy it that way, and I think that definitely have found over the last few months that this product benefits everyone. So this picture is just to show you just, it's really hard to imagine how quickly or how easily you can spread the word and have duplication of your team. And this is you signing up for, that have signed up for, that sign up for, and sign up for. And if that process happens 6 times, you have 496 people on your team. And I'm seeing it happening with many people, in not just right here in our neighborhood and in the company. And it's real, and it just organically happens as you start sharing. And so in the beginning, the only thing you're worrying about is that you have a left and a right side, and you're placing people that you know that want benefits from this product, or maybe that they're looking for a business opportunity to increase their wealth at home. We've had great stories about, kids going off to college, or people wanting to be out of debt. For us, it was buying land. We're wanting to move the salon to a better location that's frontage and better seen after being where we were for 15 years. And we wouldn't have been able to do that without Zilis. And so by sharing our story and sharing the product, we've personally enrolled people. And when you do that, you make up to $130 for every time there's an enrollment, and up to 20% on your team's enrollment. And this can happen through unlimited levels. So as you see, you can make anywhere from $250 to $30,000 per week. And people always ask me, now that we've been doing this for a minute, if these numbers are real, and I want you to know that they are. And so just be thinking, if you're interested in this business at all, this is usually the screen where people start thinking about who they know that they could share this opportunity with, and how could they grow their team. The part of this income that has Christopher and I the most excited probably is the residual income, because I have always been in a profession that I'm not making a dime unless I'm standing there doing a haircut. And so I've been standing there for 40 years. And if I need extra money, I have to open up more hours. And that was fine when I was young, but as I'm getting older, that's getting harder and harder to do. And so to have an income that, as we call it, mailbox money, when we've never had that before, it's pretty exciting. So we saw that slide that showed the power of duplication, and how quickly with 6 times of sharing the 4x4, you end up with 4,096 people. Just imagine that if you had that size team and every single person was only using one bottle, and you used an average of the royalties on the generation, which goes from 2% to 5%, you would make somewhere around $3.50 or something for every single person. It's like $15,000 a month just for this piece of the income. The binary that we were talking about just a second ago, it's paid weekly. So when you come into this company and you start selling product, you have income. When you sign up a few people in that first week, you have income. And then the first month, when those people set up their auto ship, you are going to start achieving this residual income that pays not only today, and not only through your first few generations, but it actually will unlock when you reach area, and it will pay for forever. And so these are the people that come into a company at the right time, selling a fantastic product. Think back to when I was a little girl and the Amway guy was coming over. We recently had a guy at a meeting that's been with Amway 37 years and still getting his residual income. Think about Mary Kay and all of those companies. The people that are making the 6 figures with those MLMs came in right about the time of momentum. And that's what's happening with Zilis. So Stephen had been an ambassador, like I discussed, and something that was really important to him was that we had benefits, because he had been with companies that didn't. And the first benefit that he provided to us is when we sign up 4 people, we start getting the blessing bonus. And the only thing that rule with the blessing bonus is that you have to give it away. And so when you first start, it's $100. It goes up to $500. And Christopher and I could share stories with you. He recently shared his with a guy at work that had taken on 3 foster children, and with school coming up and all the supplies and clothing, Christopher chose him to give our blessing bonus to. And when you hear him talk about it, he still gets choked up about it. And he talks about how good it felt to be the one giving that blessing. And, it's provided by Stephen. When those 4 people sign up 4 people, you become eligible for the Jeep. We earned our Jeep on day 28. We did not believe that there was any way some man or some company was going to pay for our Jeep. So we sat back and watched. And I think we'd been at it about 3 or 4 months. We went and looked at Jeeps. I picked out a white one. Christopher went back and added, you guys would love this, but everything, like 17 different things. It's absolutely beautiful. We started seeing other people in town have their Jeeps, and we're like, I guess this is real. He's really going to make our Jeep payment, and he does. If for whatever reason you choose not to have a Jeep, you can collect half of the monthly value in cash. So when those 4 people sign up for, you're eligible for health care. This weekend is Christopher and I's 4th wedding anniversary. So it hasn't been that long ago that I was a single woman, and not very many years before that I was a single mom, and healthcare was absolutely ridiculous. And it was one of the highest costs on my P&L at work. And so to have represent a fantastic product that's paying me in a lot of ways, but one of them is healthcare, is huge to us. When I married Christopher, I was able to go on his healthcare, but there was a difference in pay. And all he had to do is show his paycheck stub and his health card, and we get this every single month as a benefit with Zilis. So I'm going to show you a slide in a second that you'll want to think back to this right here. When you sign up 4 more people, you now become eligible for the global pool. And what Zilis does is take all the money from the product sold, moves 2% of it into a pot, and everyone regional and above gets a piece of that, depending on how, their percentage of what they sold and did, as a ambassador. And so we got our first check on April 15th, and it was good. We were excited. We got our second check on July 15th, and I want you to know that it had tripled. And so if we talk about growth, and we talk about how this business is exploding, we talk about this product and what's going to happen with CBD, and I always need real numbers to understand something, that showed us the pace as to which this company, this industry, this plant, and this product are going to grow. When those 4 people sign up, 4 people, you are eligible for a motor coach. This cracks me up. If we ever have a motor coach that has the lease all over it, I'll be shocked. But I would definitely take half of it in cash. And I've changed a lot over the last 10 months of saying what I would do and what I wouldn't do. So who knows? But it has to be 34 feet long, and it has to be diesel. It's absolutely beautiful. I went and picked up product for a friend the other day, and there was one in the parking lot of Zilis. And it is beautiful. And it would be fun to go to games and things like that with a bunch of friends. I just don't know where we'd park it. We already have trouble parking the Jeep. So those are the benefits program. And when I talk about growth of Zilis, I told you that, Zilis grew 500% the first year and is growing 1,000% this year, and expected to end the year by even more than that. But these numbers that you're looking at, these are the hemp industry numbers. Zilis didn't put these out. These numbers were in publications like Forbes and Time, New York Times, Wall Street Journal. And I like seeing something back up what we're saying. And so just recently, Brian sent me a copy of the article from Forbes, and these are real numbers. So by 2020, which is only like 4 months away, we're expected, to be at a 700% growth marker. And I think I said earlier, with the salon, I'm excited if there's like 2 to 10% growth. I cannot imagine 700% growth. So we're excited to be a part of that. But by 2022, we're expected to be a $22 billion industry. So if you're looking at that needle to your right, when Christopher and I first came in, we were walked further left in the concentration stage, further away from momentum, not even creeping up on 5 billion like we are now of this industry. And you looked at momentum's just now starting, and that by 2030, they're expecting this industry to be $1 trillion industry. So a huge part of the success of this whole entire company, this opportunity, and what we call adventure, is being at the right place, at the right time, at the beginning, and being a part of the momentum that is to come. So there are 3 different ways that you can be involved with Zilis. What I love about it is it no matter how you come in, you get your personal website. We just recently redid our website at the salon, and it was a little over $3,000. just to make it spunky. And with Zilis, it's already all there for you. You get your website. I love numbers and studying them and helping my team with, what you need. And, this is all you got to do to reach your goal. And all of those reports are provided to me in my back office via cloud. And then there's training and support. If I need to print off something, if I need to give information to a client, it's all right there. And then we talked about the wholesale pricing that's available, whether you're bronze, silver, or gold, that wholesale pricing is available to you. So I'm going to start with gold. It's probably backwards, but that's what I like to do. If you are interested in doing this business with us and becoming part of this team, it is $1,299 for the gold package. With that, you get 5 large bottles of CBD, 1 large topical, 1 each of all of the boosters, and 24 of the 7-day challenge size of the sublingual, 12 of those, and 12 of the topical. And the way I look at that, if you take the average kind of price that people sell their 7-day challenge for is $35. So if you sell all 24 of those, you've already, gotten over $800 of your money back. If you keep 1 bottle of CBD for yourself and you sell the other 4, you've now gotten every penny of your investment back. And you're making 20% on every single person that you sign up to be a part of your team. And you're getting to try those boosters. And I highly recommend that